Hi there and welcome back to my channel. Lovely to see you all again. I see a familiar face in front of me right now on the screen. Her name is Cláudia Pascoal and she has been in Eurovision before, I'm sure, in 2018 if I don't mistakenly remember it. She's back in Festival de Canção, which is the Portuguese national final for Eurovision. You probably already know that. The song is called Nasci Maria, and I'm excited to see what she has brought to the table this year. So let's listen if she is worthy of a ticket back to Eurovision. Interesting. For my personal taste, I guess I think it's too much on reliant on a repetitive side of things. I get that that's kind of the point of the song. I'm sure it is. Obviously, I don't speak Portuguese, but if you just listen to it from a musical perspective, it's a playfully written song, kind of what do you call it, based from storytelling. So I get that it could have it's a certain type of delivery for someone who understands the lyrical content here. I feel like I'm missing out a little bit on that side. But it's musically very reliant on this hook of just kind of repeating Nasci Maria, which I get because it's probably a central focal point within everything here. But for a listening experience, I think that it's a bit too reliant on that. It becomes repetitive towards the end, regardless of the variation in the instrumental that it has going for it. I think it's an interesting listening experience, and I enjoy it for what it is. But it's not something that I will really see myself coming back to that much. And it's not something that regularly fits up my alley. It's, of course, a song that could be up for, debate to kind of consider if this is something that will absolutely grow on me and I will become addicted to it. That could absolutely happen. But for what it is now, I don't really think there's enough melodic variation. I do like some parts of the instrumentation a lot going on here. I think this... Not entirely sure on what kind of instrument we got going for us, but it sounds like a very broken type of harpsichord that has basically a very detuned sound to it, which I think is very prominent within the song, and I think it fits the soundstage incredibly well. It's a very unique instrumentation in that regard, and the arrangement of it also really clicks. I think it works well with this kind of varied vocal delivery throughout as well, because it's a song that explores different registers and different approaches, which I think is quite nice. I think the structure is actually quite admirable because it's one of these that takes you on twists and turns throughout. It's an unpredictable song that that does what it wants to do. It doesn't really follow any kind of boundaries or rules. It does what it wants to do. It delivers what it wants to deliver, and it doesn't really excuse itself for doing that. And I think that's quite great. I think the opening is very atmospheric. I like that approach of it. The vocal arrangement there is nice. The way that the percussion is being introduced is pretty great. Maybe the first verse or so kind of lacks a little bit of the drive in the percussion, I'd say. It's absolutely something that kind of brings in a little bit of energy, but it's something that could absolutely hit me harder if it had more drive to it. Just speculating, but that could be it. But for what it is now, I feel like the overall package of this is something that I'm intrigued by more so than something that I was really just enjoying. And that's, those things can happen. Every song can't be for everyone. I still think there's admirable stuff in here. I think it's pretty, it's very well packaged. It has its purpose. It has diversity. It's varied throughout. But melodically, it's not quite there for me. Instrumentation-wise, I think there's a charm to it. I think there's a great amount of charm to it, honestly. And I think there's a very great amount of playfulness to it, which I think is really fun. And also the cohesion of it really works in a sense, but it's a bit over-reliant on the chorus, in my opinion. And that's probably one of the aspects that makes me not really see myself returning to it that much. But as an overall package, it's well put together. It does exactly what it wants to do, and I can't fault it for that. And for sure, this will have its audience, and if I'm not a part of that, then that's just me, Tell me what you think of the song in the comments, please. I'm intrigued to see what varied thoughts we have on this one. I think a lot of people will either be on either side of the fence here. I'm sure a lot of people will love it, and I'm sure a lot of people will be kind of skeptical towards it. I think it's a fun package to it. I think it's very intriguing, but it's not something that I see myself really seeking out and listening to. But I'm glad we have this. It brings a lot of variation to a selection, and I think it's really charming to have it in here. But yeah, tell me what you think of the song in the comments. I look forward to reading about that, and I hope that you will join me again in the next video, where we'll get through the next finalist from Festival de Cansa. Have a good one until next time. Take care, and bye bye.